Hello, I'm Travis Edrington. I'm with Amber Delacruz.
I'm a little bit of sweet, a little backwoods, a little bit of getting dirty underneath the hood. Daddy taught me tough love, mama taught me don't judge. A little reckless with the southern touch. Loving, praying, hell raising, small town, no doubt. I'm from the south.
What's your earliest memory of hearing music and how that affected your life?
Ooh. So when I was a little kid, so I wasn't allowed to do anything. I wasn't allowed to do anything. Like I lived in a really strict home, and I wasn't like Christian music was the only thing we were allowed to listen to. So I used to sneak up into our bonus room in our house. We had a TV up there, and I used to sneak up there at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and watch country music videos. And it honestly made me adapt to like the story in a song, and how like one song could really change your life. And that was when I really like fell in love with music. And when I was in church, when I went to church, like that was really the only way I was able to I'm not trying to get religious, but that was the only way I was able to talk to God, was through music. It was through the worship time. Everything after that, like my ADHD would kick in. I would maybe retain 5 minutes of it. So and be like, well, I know Jesus loves me. That's as far as it would go, though. I mean, it would be one thing after another. So, but yeah, music. It was definitely me watching country music videos and just watching them put the story in and like explain the song for what it is. Because you could be thinking it one way, and then they do something in the music video, and you're like, oh, it's way deeper than what I was feeling. Like with What Hurts the Most. Like, you listen to that song and you think it's so great, and then you see the music video and you're like, waterworks.
How do you start your songwriting sessions?
How do I start them?
Yeah.
It's either with a story that's completely ridiculous, and then somebody in the co-write gets one line out of it, out of my crazy stories, because I have plenty of them. But then sometimes I go in and I'm like, okay, look here. I need to explain this, but I need it to make sense, because right now it's just not making sense in my head, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to make sense to anyone else. So, but a lot of it starts with a melody. Sometimes I walk in with an actual beat that I've produced, and then I'll walk in with it. And then other times, I'll have a whole hook ready to go. I just need to tie everything together. So, I'm famous for the hooks. I could do hooks pretty quick.
What are some of those moments that you can think of?
Oh, the best one right now is probably the one that I had with Mark Narmore. I had it with Mark Narmore. He wrote That's What I Love About Sundays. And my write with him, I walked in, it was him and Jamie Grooms. And Jamie Grooms is the one that wrote Even If with me.
No, I don't give a damn. Judge me, love me, believe me if you want. But I'm gonna tell the truth before I'm too far gone. Even if my mama hears this song.
Okay.
And I walk in, and that was the same day. I had this co-write scheduled the same day I was moving. So I was literally trying to move from 5 o'clock in the morning till 2, which was when my write was. And I walked into this write, I had black yoga pants on, a black t-shirt on. You could see every piece of dust on my body. It was so bad. But I was running late, so I called them and I was like, listen, I don't know what I'm even writing about, but I really want to write about the situation that I just ran into. And I just told them this story about me coming to Florida, coming into town for a little while, and I got a message, a phone call and a text message and a Twitter message all from my exes. And I'm like, did someone die? Like, and it was just like basic, hey, hope you're doing well. And I was just like, what is going, did I win the lottery and I don't know, and that's why they're calling? Or did they find out something about me that I don't even know myself? And so I'm thinking, what in the world's going on? Well, then, like, I of course, like, I don't talk to exes. It's just not really a thing for me. So, of course, I hadn't talked to them in a while, and so I just kind of said, yeah, I hope you're doing good too. Like, how's your wife? Like, how's your kids? Or like, because all of them are like married or engaged or something. So I thought it was just so weird, and I ended up, and then one ended up like asking me, like, I wonder, like, he was just like, I wonder what would have happened had we stayed together. And I was just like, this is really freaking random, first of all. Like, do you think I'm a great girl now? Like, what was I then? But then again, I wasn't so bad, was I? Because you're still thinking about me. And so, like, there's like this mixed emotion of, like, I don't want to talk to you, and I do want to talk to you because I kind of just want to tell you how great I am. And so, like, it was just like one of those mixed emotions where, like, you're being nice and you're being cordial, and then you just kind of want to rub it in their face. Now, I'm doing great, and I'm very happy, and I get to travel, and I get to do everything that I love to do. And but out of all of that, like, I was telling Mark and Jamie, I was just like, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful they broke my heart. I'm so thankful, like, things ended, and they ended when they did, because I would have never fell in love with music as much as I did, because music was the one thing that put a smile on my face, even when my life was just upside down and haywire. So I said, I was telling them this whole story about all these, about my exes, and which is only like three. One messaged me on Instagram and Twitter. So I ended up like telling them the whole story, and I was like, I don't really know where I'm getting at with this. I was like, it just kind of frustrated me, and Mark, Jamie was just like, it's probably, I don't know if this is clean or not, but I'm gonna say it. But he was just like, well, get to the point. Jamie was like, well, get to the point, Amber, because by this time I'm like, I made it to my right, and I'm still telling them the story. And they were like, get to the point, Amber. Did you go see one of them? Did you like hook up with them? I was like, okay, first of all, and I said, not on my, I was like, I don't even drink anymore. Not on my drunkest night would I ever call one of my exes and be like, I miss you. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. And so they laughed. They both laughed because, like, they know I've been sober for like over a year now. So they were just dying laughing. I was like, I don't care if I became a drunk tomorrow. I was like, they would be the last person I called. I was like, I don't even think they'd be a thought process, honestly. And so, but that right was probably the funniest one. I don't even know what the question was, but that right was probably the best right that I've been in a while. Because, like, we wrote this song called Drunkest Night, and it's the funniest song that I have. Like, it's me just, like, letting it all out. It's honestly me actually showing my personality more, as far as my sense of humor when it comes to crappy situations. So I don't know, but Mark Narmore, I'm sure he was probably thinking, this girl's 2 shots of crazy. Like, Jamie already knew that because I wrote Even If with him, and I was just like bawling my eyes out in that one. So, but Mark was just like, this girl's just haywire. He's a good guy though. I like writing with him. He's got a lot, because he writes with Brandy Clark, and he's got a lot of soul, and he's from Alabama. So I love writing with him because I can do a lot of soul with him, and he's just gonna be like, yes.
How did you all get connected?
Jamie introduced us at a writer's round. I had just written with Jamie, and then he invited me to this writer's round, and I went, and I was just like, I love Martin Armour. I have to get it right with him. and like I told Jamie that after the round, I was like, I have to write with him. I don't care what you got to do. I don't care if I got to pay him I want to write with him. And I was like, now Jamie, you know I don't have a lot of money, so like that was just like me being dramatic. He's just like, I know. So like he introduced us to each other, and so we ended up getting a three-way right, and I loved it. It's one of my favorite songs right now to perform. So I can't wait to record that one. That one's next on the list after this new one coming out.
What is something that most people don't know about you?
Oh. Most people don't know about me. Well, a lot of people don't know I'm Filipino. They either think I'm Spanish or they just don't know I'm Filipino. Well, and like the Delacruz name, like it's Spanish, but it's actually Filipino because you know the like little history lesson for you. But 1800s, the Spaniards migrated to the Philippines, and that's where the name comes from.
Okay.
So yeah. So it is Filipino. My dad is very Filipino, and so is my grandpa, and so is my entire Filipino multiplying family.
What is the most rewarding part of your job?
I think so. You know, I kind of got reminded of this when after I released Even If, I released that song. I never had intentions of releasing that song ever in my life. I'd never wanted to do it, and because there was just a lot, like everything about that song is my life. Like everything I've been through is in that song, and I was like, I don't want people to know this much about me. Heck no! Like I'm never gonna release this song. And I even told Jamie that day, I was like, I mean, I'll never release this song, but like I guess I'll demo it and like, you know, pitch it, but I don't think anyone is going to take this you know, personal of a song. And so you know, when I released that, and I released it for Mother's Day, I didn't expect the turnout or the reaction that I got. I didn't expect it at all. Like I thought maybe here and there, like my mom was going to share it, you know, my family's going to share it, and like, you know, that's it. And I was going to get like maybe 800 views, and you know 600 were going to be my mom playing it back and forth or something. But then I started getting, like, people started messaging me their stories and how that song spoke to them when I didn't think it was going to speak to anyone because of how personal it was. And that's the rewarding part is when you basically put yourself on a platter and you just let it out, and you let it out for the world to see, and people accept it. And you know, acceptance is like really hard no matter what in this day and age. It's just hard. It's in every aspect. Like that could be like a girl going to high school, like her first day in high school, or like first day in middle school, or like anything. Acceptance is so hard to get from anyone, and so it's I think it's the acceptance part and the appreciation that you get when you write something like that, and people actually, like, they see the real you. They don't just see, you know, what's on Instagram, or you just being stupid on a video, like, you know, or like, you know, doing stupid funny videos. Like, they see the real you, and they accept it.
They don't see your highlights. They see everything.
Yeah, they see everything, and so I got reminded of like why I love doing music when I released that song. Like that was definitely like pinning the tail on the donkey. I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly why I love to do it. This is exactly why I want to do it for the rest of my life, because when I was growing up, like, there were songs that spoke to me that helped me through a hard time, or helped me through a great time, or like, you know, made me go down memory lane and, you know, remember the good times that I had, like, you know, with old friends or something. You know, you hear a song, and I mean, I hear a song to this day, and I still think of my best friend in high school. And I call her every time I hear it. Every time it comes on my shuffle, I'm like, hey, I just want to tell you I love you. Like, and we don't even hang out. We don't hang out at all anymore. Like, you know, she has her life. Like, she's married. She has a beautiful son, and like she lives in Jacksonville. But every time I hear that song, or I just see like the whole John Mayer album. If I listen to anything on that, like she's the first person I call because I just want to make sure she's okay. But you know, songs remind you of something, and it's great. It's great that they do. I'm thankful for it because I got the worst memory in the world. So you keep on asking questions, and I might not remember what you're talking about. I started reading some and I was like, I don't really remember a lot.
What was your most challenging part of your job?
Definitely getting sober. 'Cause, you know, in country music or anything in the music industry, like it's really hard to. It's tough. You know, I let myself go a lot when I moved to Nashville, and I drank a lot, and that was one. I'm not trying to like base it all on my like. I'm not saying like, you know, I was like really crazy. I mean, I was pretty crazy when I was drinking a lot, but like that was one hard thing for me to do because, you know, I did nothing but write party songs and write about drinking, and I was just like I'm not gonna write about something I didn't do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not fake. I don't want to be fake either. I don't want to write about something I've never done in my life, and so, you know, that was one of the hardest things I did. Well, in the beginning it was really hard because I felt like I wasn't living up to what I wrote, and it's weird but honestly it was just because I wanted to be accepted. So of course I could drink more. Like, it was easy for me to drink. And like, you know, in Nashville, like, you drink at 10 o'clock in the morning and no one's going to say anything. Like, everybody just says, all right, well, have a good day. Like, they don't say what's going on. They just say, this is just normal. And so that and moving to Nashville was hard because, you know, I'm a huge family person. Moving to Nashville, I'm like the first one to really move away in my entire family. Like, my cousins, like, they live down south in Florida, but they still live in Florida. Me,
what part?
Like, they live in Orlando.
Okay.
So all my family lives here and lives here over in Jacksonville, and me, I live 9 hours away from home, and that was really hard for me. I mean, it took me. I had some really bad nights in Nashville when you start thinking about. You just missed a football game.
Yeah.
You know, you miss a nephew's football game. And like me, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I could never have kids. Like, my nieces and nephew kill me right now. I can only imagine what it would be if it was my kid. And so, you don't get to be there for birthdays like you want to be there, and it's hard to balance it all. Like, it's hard, and you don't want to disappoint anyone, and you really don't want to disappoint your family at the same time. So that's definitely the hardest thing. The hardest thing was to balance all of that and get my life together because I wanted to get it together, not because someone was wanting me to get it together.
Yeah.
Like, I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm tired of everyone picking up the pieces for me. So, because I'm a ticking time bomb and I need to get it together. Like, come on, Amber, you know better. Because I didn't talk to my family for a while, or I would just avoid them at all costs because I was like, well, if I get on the phone with them, they're gonna know I'm hungover. So I would just avoid it altogether. I'll just be like, I'm sleeping, leave me alone. So.
Yeah, I'm actually from Port St. Lucie. And
oh wow, okay, yeah. So you're right here.
I live in Atlanta, and I work in Atlanta, but I live in the Athens area.
Oh wow.
So
okay,
yeah.
It's a commute.
It's an 8-9-hour drive.
More than 3 hours, and you're just like, oh, this is hard. This is really hard to put everything. I mean, there have been times where I've literally driven down. I've driven down through the night to get to Jacksonville at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, and just to go to a football game, and I'll drive right back. Just because I don't want to miss those things.
Yeah, last year my aunt got married on New Year's Eve. I was in town for Christmas, and that's when my aunt had said, "Yeah, I'm getting married on New Year's Eve." So I called my boss and I said, "Can I take a couple extra days off for the
Yeah.
wedding. You're like, no, we need to do. So I drove up. Right after my shift, I picked up my brother in Georgia, and I drove right back down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was crazy.
I know about it, man. I do know about the long driving. Whew.
So
My family thinks I'm crazy, and then like they think I'm really crazy when I get there and I don't go to sleep, and they're like, you got like you haven't slept in like 24 hours. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was like, I'll fit it in sometime. So
yeah, there's been times that I was coming down, and I was like, I stopped on the turnpike. I'll sleep for 15 minutes, and then next morning comes around, and I got like 10 missed calls.
oh yeah, where are you at? Oh my gosh, if it was my parents, dear Lord, my mom. If I don't answer her after like 2 texts, she's calling the National Guard. Like, my whole my family freaks out, and I'm like, okay, I'm like almost 30. We're getting there to that point. I need y'all to calm down.
So they actually have an app, the Find My Friend app. So they
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have that. I guess on
Oh,
my
see,
phone.
yeah. See,
So,
I told them I'd do that when I'm on the road, but not all the time.
yeah.
I'm like, last thing I need you to do is give me, hell about, going through the Dairy Queen drive-through. Because my mom would be like, do you really need that ice cream? I'm like,
Ice cream is good.
she would say something like that. Like, she would call me, she'd be the one to check it like every 30 minutes and be like, what kind of sushi did you get? Like, and I'm like, Mom, I mean, come on now.
well, sushi is good.
Yeah, sushi's great. Not in Nashville that much, but here it's great. I get fishy about eating sushi in Nashville because I've had great sushi all my life. So it's just like, and you try other sushi from like further down south, and it's great, and then you're like, it's horrible.
Yeah. I really only get like the $12 sushi rolls. That's really all I
yeah.
get. That's like the only.
You always get the special rolls. I get everything. I go all out if I'm gonna get sushi. Like I used to, my old roommates, they used to laugh at me because like I could never make up my mind about rolls. I just buy like 8. And they used to always say, Amber, we're always excited when you say you're going to like get sushi up the road because we know we get food. And I'm like, well, I can't make up my mind and I want to try every one of them. So.
I heard your song Even If. What was your thought process when you were writing that song?
It was a lot of I hope. Well, so but this is the funny thing. I don't know if you could probably share this, but well, screw it, we're gonna do it anyways. But like my parents, they didn't really know. Like I got sober, and like they knew I wasn't drinking anymore, and I did it for me. Like there wasn't like this come to meet with Jesus meeting with my family. Like there wasn't like this intervention or anything like that. It was just like I'm so tired of like just being tired and being sad all the time, and like a lot of it was because alcohol, like it's a depressant, so like it makes you down when you're really not even down. So but I told myself, how that song came about. So I met Jamie Grooms in a bar at Loser. I met him at Losers one night. My buddy Jacob introduced me to him, and he was just like, you should really write with him. Like he does a lot of like more rugged things, and he also writes really deep. And I was like, okay, like so we met, and that night like I was just holding a cup of water with some lemon in it. And I was just standing around, still talking, having a great time. And he was like, what you drinking on tonight? You got some like vodka Sprite? Or, he was just asking me. And we were just all standing there like watching the band. And I was like, no, it's actually water. I told him I was and he was like, water? I'm like, what's a girl like you doing? Like, you're like 26 years old. Like, why are you drinking water? And I was just like, well, I was like, I don't drink anymore. I've been sober for, it was about 8 months then. And he was just like, so why don't you drink? And I was like, oh, I used to drink a lot. Like, I don't just not drink. Like, I used to drink everybody I used to drink everybody under the bar. So, and so he just started laughing, and I said, like, I told him I was sober and like I used to drink a lot, and then he was just like, huh. He was like, why? You know, he was curious as to why I stopped drinking and what made me want to stop. And the biggest thing for me was I never wanted my mom to get a phone call. Like, it started to really dawn on me when I started putting my life in danger all the time. And I drive home completely, like, I wouldn't even remember my drive home sometimes. So, like, I told him my car, like, it was bad, it was all bad. And my parents didn't know about that. My parents didn't know about the accident. Like, they didn't know anything. I didn't tell them anything. And I just kind of kept it to myself and was very scared out of my mind because, like, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
And I walked out with not a scratch on my body. And that happened. And then my brother-in-law, he got into an accident like 4 days after my accident. And he was just coming home from work, and that killed me. And that started me slowly getting my act together. I wasn't not drinking yet, but like all those things, like, you start appreciating your family more and realize, like, you're being really freaking stupid. Like, you just saw how, like, torn your family was because of your brother-in-law. Like, imagine what would happen if you put yourself through something horrible, and it was all on you. It was totally your fault. And it wasn't just because you just got into a freak accident. And I told him, I was just like, I would hate for my mom to get a phone call from someone she doesn't even know that something happened to me. I was like, that just kills me. I was like, my mom can't handle that. Like, there's no way. Like, seeing how she breaks down about the littlest things, like, I can't even imagine what she would do if something happened like that. And it was me, like the always please my parents one, like, and which I do. Like, I mean, I always do everything I can for my family. And so, like, for it to be coming from me would be way not expected. And so, like, that's what I mean, he texted me that night, and he was just like, I have to write with you. Like, I have to write with you. He was just like, what you said to me in that bar tonight just opened my eyes. And he was like, and I'm like a 37-year-old man, and I would have never thought that you being introduced to me tonight, I would have so much guilt right now. And so that's what inspired that song. It was that, and it was everything that kind of made me such a drunk. I mean, you're like the first person that's getting any of this information. I just want you to know that. Like, I'm thinking, like, I've never said this to anyone, but I went through a lot. I went through a lot from the time I was 21 to now, and it's just there was a lot of times where I never coped with it. I just put it on the back shelf and, like, just let it sit there and just freaking fry.
How did you go about connecting with Brett, James, Hillary, Lindsay, and Gordy Sensman? Who are they in the country music industry?
Oh, well, one. Well, I didn't know who they were. So this is pretty funny because I had just done a singing competition and got burned.
Right.
And I didn't get anything out of it. It was horrible, and I was like, well, I'm not doing music for the rest of my life. This is it. Like, I really got burned in it, and I didn't get anything out of it. I ended up winning, and nothing was given. like all the like awards that were the prizes or everything, nothing was given to me. And so I basically just had this title and I won the show that I didn't get nothing from. So I was just kind of burned from it. Well, then a lot of girls that I knew that sang and that did sing country music, they all were like posting this video on this radio station, and like they were posting the song by Julia Andrews, Who I Am, and they were all singing it, and then like people were sending it to me, and I was so burned from everything that I was like, I ain't doing that crap. Like I was just like, I ain't doing nothing. I was just so butthurt about it. So I ended up, I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. And because I started watching the videos, and I was just like, I can do that. Like I can sing that song totally. And so I ended up playing the song on the guitar and singing it. And I posted the video. They called me like 2 weeks later, and they were like, "Hey, you won." And I'm like, "What did I win? I don't even know what I won. I didn't even know what the prize was. I just know everybody was doing it." And so then like. People were calling me saying like, "Oh my gosh, this is such a great opportunity for you," and I'm like, "Is it?" Like, I mean, I know I'm singing with the Jacksonville Symphony Orchestra, but that's about it. Like, I don't know the rest. And then I started looking into like who Brett James was and who Hillary Lindsey was, and I was just like, "Whoa!" Like, this is way too fancy for me. And so it opened my eyes to songwriting like way more. It made me understand it more, because I actually I knew a songwriter. His name was Johnny Bulford, and so Johnny's sister was my best friend. So I hung out with them all the time, and I knew he was a songwriter. He's had he's had a #1 with Lee Bryce, a woman like you. So like I knew it, but I didn't understand. Like it was just like way over the head. And I started to really understand it more when I did that contest, and I was like, oh, like they don't do like they just sit here and write songs. And like Hillary Lindsey, I mean, she could probably buy an estate at this point with how many cuts she's gotten by Carrie Underwood. So like it opened my eyes to songwriting, and they signed my guitar that night, and they were like, you need to start writing, like you need to keep writing, it doesn't matter if it doesn't rhyme, just write. And so I started writing after that, a little bit after that. I would come here and there, and it was just back and forth kind of, and then and even if, it's not a secret now because it says it in even if, so like, I just recently got married, and I ended up getting pregnant like 2 months later after that contest, or after that whole show, and then I ended up having a miscarriage, and I just like lost it. Like, I didn't know what I wanted anymore. I didn't know if I wanted to have a family or if I wanted to do music. It was just all at once, and so I stopped just doing everything, and alcohol was a good friend of mine and all of that, and then not to mention it didn't help that I didn't have like the greatest marriage in the world. I don't want to talk about that. So so all those things, kind of it was like everything was building up to the point where I could actually sit down and just write, because I failed every English class there was in high school. Like I just passed because I was a starting athlete. I slept my entire junior and senior year. I didn't do anything, but I was a starter, so I passed. And I live in a small town, so it's like population 500. My dad walks in uniform, and he's like, "You can't film," and like it's fixed, so whatever. But yeah, so. That experience was great, because that actually opened my eyes to songwriting and understanding it more, because it was just over the head, because no one in my family does music, so it wasn't like I had like someone speaking into me all the time. I literally learned how to play the piano on YouTube. Like I just followed a YouTube video how to play something, and guitar, it just came like when I would be at church, I had nothing else to do, and I learned what chords were, and that's it. So it just kind of, it There was no, I didn't start, I was a late bloomer for sure. Like, I didn't start really playing the guitar until I was like 21 or 20, I was like 20. And so I didn't, I mean, I got a guitar when I was 15 and I hated playing it because it was so big. I still can't play it to this day. It's too big. I look at it all the time, I'm like, one day I'm going to actually play you, but I still can't do it, so.
What are some of your pet peeves?
Oh. I can't stand seeing the dishwasher loaded the wrong way. I'm really OCD, so I'm very OCD, and you can ask anyone in my family. Like my mom, she just came, my parents, they just came to visit me in Nashville, and they stayed in my room. Well, my closet is like completely open to like right there at my bed. Like you could see my closet when you lay in my bed. And my mom, she looked at my closet and she was like, "Oh my God, our daughter literally has a problem." Because like my closet is so stupidly organized. Like I have to have the same type of hanger, the same color.
That's crazy.
And like all my clothes are like my jeans are even colored. Like they go from light to dark. And like my shirts are all color coordinated. They're all like white shirts, black shirts, white tanks. Like it goes from tank tops to long sleeve shirts, and it's all in colors.
That's crazy.
It's really bad. There's a problem, and I know I have one, but you know, whatever. But that, and I can't stand to see someone load a dish like you put a plate in, like they have slots for a dishwasher.
Yeah.
My old roommate, she put it in there diagonally, and I'm like, I swear she does this just to piss me off. I'm like, that nothing irks me more than someone loading the dishwasher wrong. And then they're like, oh, the dishwasher's full. I'm like, well, if you put it in the right way, you could probably fit about 18 more dishes in there. Pet peeve of mine. I can't do it. I get so mad. I get so bent out of shape. I'll just stop doing everything. I just won't do anything. I'll be a sloth. And then I'll have enough and like go on crazy. I clean him over. So.
Is there anything that you would like recommend or any advice for somebody trying to move to Nashville or trying to get in the music industry?
You gotta know who you are. And you gotta hold on to that. Your mic's not. You gotta know who you are. Like if you don't know who you are, you're gonna get swallowed in that town. Like there's so many people that I know that they don't know themselves yet, and I'm like, oh. Like I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I moved to Nashville, and you know I had a 2-song deal by the time I got up there. I had already signed a 2-song deal, so like when I moved to town, I had that as a platform, and it helped me so. It opened doors for me that I know aren't easy to open. Like
when you say a 2-song deal.
So I had a 2-song deal with Average Joe's. I was put on a compilation disc with them, and I was on Mud Digger 6, Mud Digger Volume 6, and Mud Digger Volume 9, and and those were the two. Those are actually the 2 songs that I wrote by myself. Like those are the 2 first songs that I ever wrote by myself. And so like it was a big deal, and it gave me a great way to like when people introduce me, they'd be like, oh, she's got to deal with Average Joe's right now. So like it helped me so much, and it made people not like just turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
Because I mean that happens a lot in that town. Like people don't let you like. Nashville is very welcoming, but like it is very sacred. Like there's a lot of people that they try to come in and they try to hang out with the people, and like they do that and then they just get ran all over. It was kind of nice to do that and be around good people. Like I walked into Nashville knowing people and people introducing me to the right people. Like Taylor Phillips was one of my first friends in Nashville, and like he wrote Hurricane for Luke Holmes.
Okay.
And he was like my first friend in Nashville, and like Hurricane was just coming out, when I moved to Nashville. So it wasn't even like this huge hit for her. Like I knew about it because like Taylor like had played it to me, and I met Taylor through my best friend Maddie. So Taylor introduced me to a lot of people, and the good people, like people that aren't gonna like, you know, blow smoke up your ass. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so I thankfully was surrounded by good people when I moved to town. And it kept me out of a lot of junk and a lot of like horrible situations, I would say, and a lot of bad people and a lot of bad business people.
Yeah.
So
It's always good to have.
yeah, I had
those
good people.
to-
I had good people that didn't really know me but cared about me because they could see that I wasn't like some, you know. Well, I suck at being fake, so like, what you see is what you get. And sometimes my mom doesn't like what I say on camera, so I'm doing really good right now, Mom. You should be very proud.
Well, I guess that's all we have for now.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I feel fancy AF right now. I'm not even gonna lie. It's the nicest thing I've ever done in my life. I already sent my mom a snap and she was like, I cannot believe you are where you are right now. And I was like, I can't either, Mom.